Hello and welcome to our web series, 3 Years On. Our series of 10 webisodes commemorates Christchurch City 3 years on from the devastating earthquakes of 2010. In this series, we'll be exploring many aspects of the rebuilding of Christchurch, including art, media, places, people, community, special projects, writing, and music. In this episode, we'll be looking at the art that has occurred around the city in the 3 years since the September earthquake of 2010. There have been countless pieces of art that have sprouted up around the city, creating the culture and vitality that the Heptabrians lost. One of the first types of art we'll be looking at today is graffiti art.
Pieces of graffiti like this used to be frowned upon, but are now pieces of public art.
All over the city, these blank spaces have been decorated with what used to be called vandalism. However, these colourful murals seem to give the city a heartier, more cultured feel.
These big areas where buildings used to be have now become places of makeshift art.
The graffiti art is amazing and seemingly spontaneous, but can hardly replace the Christchurch Art Centre, the pre-quake hub of culture in the city. The Art Centre stands tall near the central city, still magnificent to behold, despite it being engulfed by scaffolding, tarpaulin and workers. The Art Centre used to hold a number of cafes, galleries, restaurants, shops, cinemas, bars and the Court Theatre, which has been at the Art Centre since 1976 and is now located in Addington. The buildings, which are neo-Gothic styles and designed by Benjamin Mountfort, may take up to $290 million to repair. It is said to reopen in 2019. Hopefully when the Art Centre reopens, it'll be a draw card for children, tourists and artists, and grow back into the vibrant hub it had once been. So I'm standing here in front of the Christchurch Art Gallery, which closed after the February earthquake 2.5 years ago. Engineers are still investigating a number of repair options, and these are expected to go through in mid-2014. The main damage has been to the glass facades around the outside and the car park and buildings. There has been a lot of public pressure to rush the rebuilding and bring us back the art gallery, which would be pivotal in the rebuilding of our city. In the meantime, the art has sprawled out onto the streets, becoming accessible to anybody. You could think that with the loss of 2 major arts buildings, art in Christchurch would quickly grow non-existent. However, that is not the case. Instead of quietly disappearing, art has flourished all over the city, sprouting up in places you'd never imagine. Little pieces of public artwork like this have popped up all over the city. This piece, called Half Space, shows a table and chairs which are all being held down by chains. These chains are actually made of rubber bracelets, which were all donated by Telstra Clear and are a symbol of hope and strength for the city. This art behind me is transitional art. It shows 185 chairs, which represent the 185 people who were killed in the Canterbury earthquakes. Each chair is different, like every person that was lost. They've all been painted a pure white, and it creates quite an eerie space in the middle of this urban landscape. They've put a comment book here where people can leave lovely messages. Some of the things written are thought-provoking and some of them are sad. Love and respect the beautiful people of Christchurch. There are no words of how I feel reflecting in amongst the 185 empty chairs. Love from LHS, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. May your souls find peace in the fact that humanity has become a better place in the wake of this tragedy. Rest eternally in kindness. Jim Buffett, USA. This is a beautiful tribute to all of those lost in the devastating earthquake. Thoughts and prayers to all the 185 victims, loved ones and families. Rest in peace to those who have passed. Jacqueline Branton, Gold Coast, Australia. There have been so many pieces of art newly sprouted in the city, perhaps too many to count. But possibly the largest and most impressive is that of the Cardboard Cathedral. The Transitional Cathedral, or more colloquially called the Cardboard Cathedral, is a new project that lives on the corner of Madras and Hereford Street. This Cardboard Cathedral is a type of emergency architecture designed by Shigeru Ban, who has been designing temporary structures in disaster zones all around the world since the mid-1980s. The cathedral is still in construction, but is about 70% complete. It will have seating for 700 and provide a venue for concerts, exhibitions, and civic and community events. It's made from varied materials such as cardboard tubes and timber beams, structural steel and concrete. It is actually the largest structure designed by Shigeru Ban, and he has contributed all of his time free of charge to build this building. The cathedral's triangular window contains images from the destroyed Christchurch Cathedral's original rose window. The fact that it has been designed to show fragments of something old says something about the state of the cathedral and our city. Even though Christchurch has been through some devastating events, we've shown our resilience by rising above it and creating an artistic and cultural future for our city.